What up is GTech. Welcome back to the channel where I provide tips and guidance to help indie hip hop artists and share other related hip hop content. It'll really help me out if you like and subscribe to the channel. It'll push my video and broaden the reach on YouTube so other people can watch it. So if you could do that, please, that'll help me out. I appreciate that. So the fastest way to gain 1,000 followers on Instagram. If there are two different artists, for example, with two different Instagram accounts, and one has 10,000 followers while the other one has maybe less than 1,000 followers, the one with 10,000 followers, people might want to check out the account with 10,000 followers opposed to the one that has less than 1,000. I do believe it is a numbers game. If you are looking at two different products on Amazon, for example, you're going to go with the one that has the most reviews. I'm not saying that correlates with the amount of talent you have. I'm not saying that if you have less followers, that means you have less talent. That is not what I'm saying at all. All I'm saying is that if you're branding your music, you need to make sure it looks, your brand and your profile and your Instagram and everything has to look aesthetically pleasing, so people are going to be more willing to check you out. Also, I really do not recommend you buying followers. It's not authentic. It might look good that you have 10, 20, 100,000 followers. It might look good, but if it's not real, then it really doesn't make sense. Like, you're not gonna have an authentic fan base, and that's what ultimately that's the goal that you want. On top of that, you risk your account of being suspended and banned on Instagram. So I definitely do not suggest you buy your followers. So I'm gonna share with you 8 tips on the fastest way to gain 1,000 Instagram followers. Tip number 1: establish your niche on Instagram. So that means figure out what type of audience you want to cater to. So if you're a producer, if you're a hip hop artist, if you're an R&B artist, maybe you want to share tips and promote stuff that you learned about and skills. Establish the avenue that you want to go to. Most successful Instagram accounts are niche based. They stick with one thing. If you're sharing random things and different things, it might not be as successful. Again, it depends on the account probably, unless you're like an immediate account like Six Buzz or something, and you're just posting random content. But you want to be as niche based as possible. Narrow it down, as it will make it clear to your followers what kind of audience and target you are trying to approach. When I only had about 500 followers, most of my followers weren't people that really interested in my music. So I started to shift my account into a more narrowed down niche, and that way I was able to gain more traction on my Instagram because I was sharing similar content and a similar passion with other artists. Tip number 2: follow similar accounts that target the same niche that you are targeting as well. So if you are a baker and you have a baking account and you're sharing like cupcakes and cake and different kind of cakes and stuff like that, you are not going to follow another account that is based on technology and fancy gadgets and stuff. If you do that, they might not follow you back because you guys don't have the same niche. Follow similar accounts that relate to your niche, and most likely they'll follow you back. Try to follow big accounts that try to follow big accounts with big followings, and at times the people that follow that account as well, they'll follow you back as well. You notice when you follow an account, show a bunch of suggested accounts that are similar to yours. So sometimes people follow those suggested accounts because you guys have mutual followings. So make sure you're following similar accounts to yours, so you guys are sharing the same passion and the same niche. Tip number 3: find posts that are relatable to you and posts that relate to the content that you're posting as well, such as like a post that has about that's sharing tips and suggestions and recommendations to hip hop artists, and that has a high engagement with a lot of comments and maybe like a few hundred likes, and follow all of the people that liked that post. I've been doing this myself. I still do it to reach similar artists such as myself and similar content creators. Because if you guys are sharing the same interests, most likely they will follow you back as well. So when you're doing this method, it's very important to be mindful that you're only allowed to follow a certain amount of certain amount of posts every single day on Instagram. You have to follow the limitations of Instagram, otherwise you will be suspended or banned. So the rule of thumb usually is up to 30 people every hour. I wouldn't follow more than 200 people a day. Tip number 4: need to have a clear bio on your Instagram. Few concise bullet points describing what your content is. When I look at your profile, within the first bullet point, I should know what your Instagram page is about. You don't need to make it too fancy, you don't need to make it too overcrowded, just a few bullet points describing what value you're going to be bringing. Also, if you want people to check out your music or you have a link, I use Linktree. It consolidates all different links like YouTube, Spotify, or anything that you want people to check out, and then you provide that one link into your bio, and it looks very clean. It's very accessible. You're making it easier for people to check out your stuff. Tip number 5: post frequently. Nobody wants to go to an Instagram profile with only 2 posts and that's it. Like, you have nothing. Like, what is the point on your Instagram? What is the point in following you? You need to be able to provide some sort of value so people can follow you. Usually I post about every other day. Some people might post like 10-20 times a day. I mean, everyone's different. Some people find success in posting that much. For me, I only post every other day. I find that it's a healthy balance. When you get enough content out there and you're able to obtain a certain amount of analytics, you'll be able to see when your high engagement times are. For me, it's every Tuesday and Thursday around 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. Those are my high engagement times, so I will post my highest quality content during those times. The rest of the times, you can put other content that you might not care about as much, but you should always be consistent in posting on Instagram. If you do not post as much, people lose interest and people will forget about you. The key to this is to be consistent and to make sure you have a presence on Instagram, because I promise you people will notice. Tip number 6 is captions. Make sure you have quality captions. I found, for me personally, quality captions with stories or relatable content. I might talk about an experience in my life or something that happened during the week. Those posts, people might have connected to it very well. I found that there was a high engagement to that. I know captions are very sometimes it's really difficult to come up with, but for all my posts I always plan them ahead of time, so it allows me to think more. And again, like, the more time you put into this, the more success you might find. Come up with intriguing and captivating captions and people will most likely engage with those. Another tip to this is probably asking a question. It will allow people to engage with you and people will comment on your post, and I always suggest that you comment or reply to everybody who's engaging with your post. This is a sort of like a thank you for acknowledging me, and it allows you to connect with your followers more, and they will more likely engage with your post in the future as well. So it's like a give and take. Tip number 7: hashtags. So on Instagram you can have up to 30 hashtags. I strongly recommend you use all 30 hashtags for all of your posts. Do not use the same hashtags over and over again for all your posts. I have different sets of hashtags for every particular post. Um, and that way I'm able to broaden my reach as much as possible, because those hashtags do make a difference, because I'll have a lot of likes from people that are not even following me because they have discovered me through the hashtags. Keep those hashtags relevant. If you're posting yourself at the park and you hashtag like Paris or something and it's completely fake, Instagram will flag that. They will see it as spam. They will eliminate that reach, that target. So make sure that your hashtags are relevant to what you're posting. Tip number 8: engage with as many people as possible on Instagram. Like, comment, share if you really want to. Engaging with as many people as possible is important. Don't be selfish. Don't expect people to engage with your stuff if you're not really engaging with other people's stuff. I'm always about helping people out and helping each other out, because you know what, we share the same passion. This music thing, it's all about collaborating. You can't do it alone. So make sure you're authentic and as genuine as possible, and people will see that through your Instagram. and people will engage with you more. So that's all the tips that I have. Honestly, the key to it all is to be consistent and to be patient. So I really hope that you found some value in this. And I wish you nothing but success. And I hope you achieve that goal of 1,000 followers on Instagram. If you have any questions, let me know. Drop a comment. And I will see you at the next one. I'm out.